Hey, my name is Vijay and I welcome you to
Y'all ready for this?
the Copywriter Vijay podcast, where we interview the top 1% email marketers and email copywriters to help you generate extra 10% in your business. And today we have someone who has been complimented on his first ever sales page copy by the owner of King of Conversion, the Robert Allen, who has sold more than 100 millions in the sales. He writes very funny, engaging, and entertaining emails that readers love to read. Currently, he is working with the king, and I would say a great email marketer and a marketer and copywriter whose name is Jason Capital. He loves to watch anime and connect with more people and talk on the camera. So, without any further ado, let's welcome Sahil on the stage. Yo, man, what's up?
Hey, hey, hey. What's up, man? I love the intro. I love the intro.
Thanks, man. And how are you, Sahil?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm very excited for our talk.
Okay, and like it's just 7 a.m. right now.
Uh-huh.
So you also woke up early, I guess.
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
I just wanna ask, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. And you?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
And my video is visible to you perfectly?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So yeah, like when we were discussing yesterday, also like we rescheduled it, and like my routine is I wake up around 10 or 11 a.m. Okay, so for me, for me it was little bit tough, but I did it. Okay, so
Thanks,
that's
man.
the thing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So yesterday I was going through your sales page. Okay, the sales page you have written, and I was loving it. Okay, the way you have written, and over there you have also added in line that okay, my name is at the time of your intro, and you said okay, I am closing my eyes. I just loved it, and I was laughing at that time. So yeah, you write a very funny and engaging copy. And by the way, would you like to tell that how did you connected with Robert Allen and how did he complimented you on your sales page? So how did it happen?
Yeah, so I actually am on Robert Allen's email list. And so I remember after I completed writing the copy for my webpage, I put it in my email signature, the link. And
Okay.
I was reading one of Robert Allen's emails and I replied to him saying, the tips are awesome, dude. And funny
Hmm.
enough, 2 or 3 hours later, he gets back
Yeah.
to me and he's like, first of all, he says, thank you. And then he's like, dude, your copy is incredible. It's crisp. And I'm like, dude, that means a lot because it was my first copy and I got complimented by an A
Yeah.
level player. So yeah, he
Uh,
must have seen the signature and that must have made him click. And so I guess that's how it happened.
Wow, man, just loving it. I even when I see, and I also sometimes maybe I don't write in a funny way, but I just love the emails you have written and the samples you have added on the sales page. I was going through yesterday. It was just amazing, man.
Thanks, man. Although I will have to say, those emails were kind of new. So I'm like, I was writing those emails when I was fairly new, and I write
Mhm.
better emails now. So I should put that out there.
Yeah, surely, surely. So, how is this journey from a middle class and Indian boy, okay, to the person who is working with the legend person, Jason Capital right now? So, how did this happen? Would you like to tell the back story and how did you enter this email copywriting? All about this.
Oh man, this is going to be a long story. I'm going to try to shrink it down as much as I can.
Okay,
But
sure.
so in the 10th grade, I actually watched Jobs, the movie about Steve Jobs, and I was like, dude,
Okay.
that is interesting. That looks like fun. That's what I want
Yeah.
to do. And right after that, it was about starting a company, a startup. But then it was like, but then in plus one, I got introduced to the internet because I didn't have full access to the internet before that. I only got my mobile phone when I was in plus
Okay.
one. And I learned everything about Instagram theme pages, YouTube. And I was like, dude, this is something that I can try right now in my room with zero money. I can
Mm-hmm.
start a YouTube channel. And that's what I
Yeah.
did. I started a YouTube channel. And I remember I used to talk about aliens and Area 51 and all of that stuff. And I got bored after a while. And I figured out that creative content wasn't for me, at least at that time. And
Yeah.
then I moved on to starting Instagram theme pages. And it went on like that for a while. I tried different things and I figured out what was working for me and what wasn't working for me. And then
Yeah.
the time came around. I had to go to college. I didn't want to, but I had to because, like, as an Indian, growing up
Yeah.
in an Indian middle class house, you can't say no to that. You can't
Yeah.
take a year off to try stuff. That would be like very, very, you'd start a conflict in your own house. So I went to
Absolutely.
college, but before going to college, I actually went on the internet and I saw this dude selling a course on how to make money with Instagram. It was for
Okay.
$79 and I bought it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna make a lot of money with this. And then I went to college, and for the first 6 months, all I did was implemented that course. So I
Yeah.
went to a new city, which was Chandigarh.
Okay. Yeah. I
All of
know.
my yeah, all of my friends, all of my roommates, the very first week, they went out of the they went into the city, they started exploring and everything. But I was
Hmm.
so busy trying to make money for the first whole semester, that was 6 months.
Yeah.
I didn't step foot outside of my hostel. I was like
Oh
that
man.
obsessed. But it all failed because the course was pretty shitty.
Oh.
And the course was pretty shitty, and I didn't make anything. I did make a lot of money, maybe around 30,000 rupees, which is like $400 or $500. I don't really know.
Hmm.
But I was mostly in loss. I was going in loss. So I had to shut that thing down.
Hmm.
But I did sell one of the theme pages that I was growing to
Okay.
an internet entrepreneur. I don't want to name him here, but he has a huge YouTube channel that's around finance. So that was one of
Yeah.
the major wins that I had. And that
Hmm.
kind of instilled belief in me that you can
Okay.
make money, dude. That was the first money that I had. I had tasted it and I wanted more of it. And then I went
Hmm.
to my parents and I told them, dude, like, I don't want to do this. I want to start my own business. I can't take it. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to study computer science. It's just not for me. I like marketing. And of course, I was shot down. I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. And then I decided I don't want to cause all that conflict with my parents because I was a rather young kid. I didn't like conflict. And I said, I'm just going to get a degree. And after that, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Right. And
Absolutely.
then I was studying, I was doing good. And then Corona came around. And then they told us
Uh,
to go back to our
True.
houses. I came back to home. And all of a sudden, when I was there, I was studying because I was there. I was seeing all my friends, they were studying. So it just kind of has that effect on you. I came here, I was
Hmm.
totally disconnected, and I started skipping classes. I was
Okay.
literally not in college anymore.
Yeah.
Like, not even physically, not even in
But
the sense that I was studying. I wasn't doing anything.
yeah.
And so I was kind of scared now because I had to make money. And so I started going on YouTube, how to make money online, the what everyone does.
As everyone does. Like
Yes,
how to make money. Yeah.
yes, sir. And I found this one video by Jason Capital, and it was
Okay.
about the three high income skills that if you have them, you will never go hungry again. You can make as much money as you want.
Yeah.
And those three skills were, the first one was sales, the second one was copywriting. And I didn't know what copywriting was, so I Googled
Hmm.
what was copywriting. And it just turned out to be marketing, but you're marketing by writing words. And
Yeah.
something about me is that I've always been good at writing and I've always liked marketing. And so I thought, dude, this is my jam. This is exactly what I want to do. And I started going
Yeah.
into it and I started liking it even more. And that's how the journey began, basically.
Wow. Amazing. Just love this story from a person, for a person who was going for college and then not interested in it, searching on the Google how to make money and then become a person. And how did you connected with Jason Capital, like as you are working with him right now? So how did this
Yeah,
happen?
so this happened way down, way down. This
Okay.
happened like two or three, almost a month ago, actually. I'm not
Okay.
clear on the timelines. It's still early morning. I'm not that sharp yet. So um,
Okay.
he was looking for a copywriter and he asked
Yeah.
anyone who was up for an interview to email him. I emailed
Mm.
him. Then it was a couple of test assignments. and I was selected.
Man, that's great. Like working with the person who's doing awesome, and I think you might also have his course on email income expert. I guess you might have watched. So,
Yeah,
like the person from whom we are learning, and the person, and we are working with them. It is just insane, man.
yeah. And the funny thing about that is, I wasn't just learning copywriting from him. I was
Yeah,
learning dating. I was learning self-improvement. All of these things from him. So he was basically my hero. He was
yeah,
basically
man.
my hero. So yeah, it feels unreal.
Absolutely. Even right now, I have ordered an earpods. Okay, just to like I have his course and I have uploaded on my YouTube. Okay, unlisted. And whenever I go out, okay, I just plug them into my ears and just I listen to his course. Okay, because it is just freaking amazing. Yeah, the way he tells, it is just amazing.
Yeah,
So,
he's a very good
yeah,
teacher.
yeah, man. So I want to ask you, how do you write the funny emails? Okay, because I have seen a lot of people who write, okay, how to make money and on any topic, okay, they would just tell, inform. But how do you come up with the ideas and the stories you tell about those engage with the reader? Okay, so how do you make them funny?
So, like, I think you don't need to be funny.
Okay,
If you are funny, it really helps because it is one of the best ways to grab attention. But you can be entertaining in other ways because being entertaining is not just about singing and dancing and telling jokes.
true.
It's little things that you can do. It's about having a personality. You don't have to be funny,
Okay,
but you can have a personality because if you look at 99% of the emails out there, they don't
hmm.
sound like they're coming from a human, do they?
True, true,
They
true,
don't.
man.
Yeah, so that's pretty much about it. You have to be entertaining, which means you have to know how to grab attention. And there are 1,000 ways you can do that. And the best way to do that is to kind of just expose yourself to things that are entertaining and kind of like build a swipe file in your mind. Like, this video grabbed my attention. Why? And then you kind of
Yeah,
dissect it and then you find the hook and then you use it, you swipe it. And that's how I've been doing.
okay.
Obviously, I was rather good at writing from the beginning. Not as good because if you read my first email, it was very shitty, dude. I don't want to tell anyone that was my first email. But yeah, of course, you
Absolutely.
practice, you get better, and that's just how the game goes. But yeah, the first thing that you need to understand is when you're writing emails, your competition is not all the other emails in your subscribers' inbox, it's
Okay.
Instagram and Netflix. That's your
Yeah,
competition. Because I heard Andrew Tate say this on one of the podcasts. This economy is the attention economy. If you can get the attention, you can make money.
you can make money. Yeah,
Yes. So that's about it. You have to be entertaining. If you're not entertaining, people are just going to skip you. That's what's going to happen.
absolutely, man. And like information is everywhere. Okay, you can just go on the Google how to write email copy. You will get a lot of content, but the way you describe it, the way you add your own personality, the way you make it entertaining and funny, and that's where you connect with them.
Yeah, I always say this, personality is everything inside an email because we live in the social media age. And in this age,
Yeah,
I is more important than you, which means I can't always be talking about you. I need you to relate to me. I need you to connect to me. I need you to know more about me because
absolutely.
Jason Capital taught me this. He said, people don't buy products, people buy people. People don't buy coaching, people buy coaches.
Yeah,
So they have to know you, and they can only know you if you're vulnerable, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're talking about yourself, if you're telling your
yeah,
stories, if you're sharing your beliefs, what do you think about the world, your opinions. So
absolutely.
personality is very important, Nemo.
And how do we inject our personality? Like if we have to write our emails, so how do we do that?
So, of course, there's the basics like imitating the voice of the person that you're
Hmm.
writing as,
Okay.
but that's like the basics. Um, Other things you can do is what I personally like to do is I get on a weekly meeting with every one of my clients. It's 30 minutes
Okay.
each, and I ask them all the questions about their life and their
Hmm.
business. So
Okay.
when I say business, I don't mean like how the business works. I mean what's happening behind the scenes. Did you get a customer
Okay.
who was like really rude to you, or did you get a customer who was who was sending you praises in the email?
Okay.
Did something crazy happen with the shipping? Did you have a fight with the supplier? Things like that. And then, of course, I asked them, what is the name of your dog? Did he do something that really irritated you last night? Where were you last night? What were you doing? Who were you with? Did something interesting happen where you were at? All of these things, you just gotta like fish for all of this in those weekly meetings that you get with the clients. And then you inject those things into your copy, into those emails.
This is freaking gold, man. I'm gonna use for my clients.
Definitely, man. Everyone should. Everyone listening should do this. It's very, very important.
Absolutely, and that's how we add our personality into add their person our client's personality into the emails. And that's how we
Yes.
get to
Yes.
absolutely. And yeah, I was as I have mentioned before, like I was going through your sales page. So over there, you also told about the subject lines. Okay, I read the subject lines that were written by other people, and those were city. Okay, I would say city. But the way you written like curiosity, I was even getting laugh and getting interested. Okay, what he's telling inside the email. So how do you write those curiosity based subject lines for your emails?
It's actually very easy. It's not
Okay.
about knowing what you should write, it's about knowing what you should not write. And that comes from exposing yourself to emails that are very, very bad. Because listen, here's
Okay.
the thing half, more, 90%, let's say 90%, 90%
Okay.
of the emails out there, they're just sales emails. You look at the subject line and you know exactly what is going to be inside the email. Because here's how the
Yeah.
subject lines read: last chance, final offer, 90% off, free.
Three
Dude,
ways to
I
make
know you're
money.
gonna sell me inside the email. Why the fuck should
Yeah.
I open it? I'm not gonna open it.
True.
So when you know that that's not how you have to write, it becomes easy to know what you're gonna have to write. And then it just becomes about telling stories. And there's a lot of formulas that you can follow when it comes to subject lines. And one of my
Okay.
favorite ones is, of course, the information gap, the curiosity.
Okay.
And
Information. Hmm.
information
What?
gap, look, I'm just, wait, let me just pull it up. I have it written
Yeah.
down. Just
Okay.
give me a second here. I want to give exactly how it is to the audience so I don't miss
Sure, man.
anything.
Sure, sure, sure.
So it's kind of about setting up a question in the reader's mind and
Hmm.
implying that the answer is inside the email. So a very, very basic example of this, which this is now my email. This is an email that one of my mentors wrote. The
Hmm.
subject line was "How to Stop a Panic Attack with a Tennis Ball."
Could you repeat?
How to stop a panic attack with a tennis ball.
Okay. How to stop
Like
the
now
panic
you're
attack?
thinking, yeah, like
Yeah,
now you're thinking, how does a tennis ball help in stopping a panic attack? And the
absolutely.
way the subject line is written, you know that the answer is going to be inside the email because it's like how to. So these are little
Absolutely.
formulas that you can use.
Yeah. And we need to fill the information gap. We need to make them curious. Okay.
Yeah,
There's something inside it. And even when they are reading the subject line, they should be entertained. And yeah.
yeah. Curiosity is like the most important leverage that you have when it comes to subject lines. If you can get
Okay.
good at writing good subject lines that are full of curiosity, dude,
Okay.
you're gonna get a lot of email opens. And of course, I just want to put it in there. It's okay to write great subject lines, but over time, in the long term, your goal should be to write emails that are so entertaining, so fun that people don't even look at your subject lines anymore.
True,
They just
man.
see that it's an email from Vijay. He writes amazing
Yeah.
emails. I have fun every time I read his emails. I'm just gonna open
Yeah.
them because there are
Yeah.
people that I follow that I am subscribed to their email lists. It's come to a point where I don't even read their subject lines. I just see their name, I
True.
open and I start reading. So that's the kind of effect you should focus on to kind of create long term with your audience.
Absolutely, and that happens every time. Every time, like okay, I have subscribed to Daniel Throsell. I would say Ben Settle. So those are the people I don't look anymore on the subject line because I know there would be gold, okay, inside it. So I would open it, and that's how you connect with the reader.
Yeah, I actually came up with this philosophy. Uh,
Okay,
when I write emails, here's what I'm thinking.
okay,
It's kind of like walking into an Apple store. You're going into the Apple store to buy an Apple product.
Yeah.
But the Apple Store, in and of itself, is an experience because of the architecture, the huge,
Okay.
beautiful glass doors, the light that's flowing through every inch of the store.
Yeah.
It's an experience in and of itself. You could go in there even if you didn't want to buy a product, just to hang
Okay.
out for a minute, right? That's how I think about
Absolutely.
emails. So when I write emails, I want my emails to be so interesting, so fun,
Okay.
that even if people don't want to buy, even if they're homeless, they're broke, they don't have two pennies to rub together, they're still going to open the emails because they say that every time I open his emails, they're fun. So I'm just going to read them, even
Hmm.
if I'm not going to buy anything. So that's kind of like
Absolutely.
how you should treat your emails. You should make them an experience. You should make them an experience in the customer journey.
True.
That's how you should look at
That's
email.
absolutely, man, and that's freaking amazing, man. Like the way we write and how do we connect with them? Like it's like also kind of future pacing, little bit, maybe.
Uh, I don't understand what you mean.
Future pacing you might seen from Jason Capital, I guess. Like okay, in the emails we are talking about the things that we are living right now. Okay, and those things they want that. Okay, and adding our personality. So that I was talking about.
Yeah, dude,
That
you're
is
absolutely right. And Jason Capital will call this selling the idealized lifestyle because you're
okay.
people don't buy products, people buy the
Absolutely
outcome that comes from those products. So
true.
if I'm going to sell a make money online product, I'm not selling the money. I'm selling the money, but I'm not
Yeah,
selling the product. I'm selling the freedom that's going to come with it. And
absolutely.
how do I sell the freedom? I tell them about the lifestyle that they're going to have. And I can do that two ways. First, I tell them this is the lifestyle you're going to have. Two, I tell them
Okay.
my lifestyle that I have.
Yeah,
And so, in that way, they think if I want the same lifestyle as him, I'm going to have to do what he's telling me to do. So, those are the two ways you can do it.
absolutely.
It's all about projecting the lifestyle, projecting the outcome, or it's just selling the product. And of course, of course, when you are selling the lifestyle, when you're selling the outcome, you have to be very, very descriptive. You can't just say you'll get freedom because when I say buy this product and you'll have time freedom, it doesn't
Yeah.
really do anything. It's not that mentally stimulating as opposed to when I describe it. And I actually wrote this for a copy. I actually wrote this copy a few days ago, and it was about freedom. And it literally read this way. Imagine you wake up in Bali at your resort without an alarm clock. And now you're thinking, what are you going to do with your day? Because you have a lot of freedom. Maybe you're going to go for a walk on the beach and say hi to the locals. Or maybe you're going to go to the bar and see the old man who's always the first customer there. You know he's got the best stories. Or maybe today you're going to go for a hike on the mountain and end the day with a dip in the moonlit ocean. Now that's describing freedom. That is putting images in the reader's mind. Not only does it make your copy engaging, but it also future paces just like you said. So you were right when you said that.
Yeah, so amazing, man, and we are selling the our lifestyle, and that's where we make money, and that's where we engage with them as well.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. So yeah, and as we were talking earlier on the chat, and you told me that okay, you are right now working with a Ecom brand as well, and you are getting around 50 replies when you ask them about a question. Okay, which is freaking amazing. So I want to ask you, when it comes to Ecom, okay, most of the time it's all about selling because you have the product and you will pitch them. So how would you inject your own personality into those emails so that those readers can connect with you? I'm talking about the Ecom, okay, right now. So how would you do that?
So let me just tell you a story.
Okay.
So the first time they hired me to write their
Yeah.
emails, and the first ever email that I had to write, of course, I
Okay.
wasn't going to write the bland, design heavy email.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no point in me working with them if I'm going to do the same thing that every other copywriter is going to do. So I told
Absolutely.
them, let's do a story. Let's do a at least 10, 11, 12 line long story.
Hmm.
And they were
Yeah.
very, very hesitant, as they should be. And so I said,
Absolutely.
let's split test this. Let's split test this. All right. And the email that they sent out was the normal email that ecom companies send
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's full of design. It's only like the headline and then hero image and then a little bit of caption and then the
Mm,
design and the design and the design. It never ends. And what
true.
I did was in my email there wasn't a single photo of the product. It was a
Okay.
long story and then there was a link. And my email was sent to one fourth of the audience size that the other email was sent to. But
Yeah,
my email still ended up making the same amount of money as the other email, even though it was only sent to one fourth of the audience size.
that's freaking dude. Amazing, man.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, do you see this? This
Yeah,
works. Let me do what I want and I'll make you more money. And that's how it
true.
started. And I kind of started injecting more personality, more story. And that's how it took off because then not only were they making more money, they were also making fans because that's equally important. You don't want to just be a business, you want to be a
True.
brand because when you're a brand, you can pass that on to your sons and daughters, you can pass that on to your grandchildren. When you're just a business, once you're gone, your business is gone. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So the main thing when it comes to ecom emails is you have to understand email
True.
is a long-term game. And what most of these ecom companies try to do is they try to maximize the profit from every email. And that's not how it works
Yeah,
because you're gonna burn out the reader. Because every time they see it's like a pattern recognition system in every human, right? Every time I
yeah.
open their emails is just selling. Every time, every single time. So I'm just gonna stop opening them because I know what exactly I'm gonna see when I open these emails.
Mm,
And Daniel Frossel actually teaches this. He says that emails are about building a relationship. And the
absolutely.
email should revolve around the personality of the owner all the time. And that's what you should try to do. So with the jewelry brand that I was working with,
Yeah.
the owners were two brothers. And so I
Okay.
started sending emails from one of the brother, and every once or twice a week, the other brother would come in and he would add his narrative to the email, what part of the operations he was handling or was going on with his side of the
Mm,
business. And sometimes
okay.
it happened quite a lot when there would be a problem with the link that I send them. I would have the other brother come in and he would say, "My stupid brother did this, and I'm just here to fix his mistake," in a fun,
Wow.
playful manner. And what happened
Yeah.
was after like 1 or 2 months of doing this, people were getting their products, their deliveries, and they were literally typing emails to the brothers and they knew their names. That's a big thing when it comes to
Mhm.
ecom companies. They knew their names,
Absolutely.
both of their names. And they were like, hey man, they were taking their names. The products look amazing. Loving the emails. Thank you for this. And so that's when you know that your emails are really, really working. And of course,
Abs-
like you can go as crazy as you want with ecom emails too. I remember we had the Black Friday sale. We
Okay.
had the Halloween sale. I'm sorry. We had the Halloween
Hello.
sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there were three emails that went out. The first email went out from the Dracula. The second email went out from the Witch. The third email went out from the Living Dummy. So
Okay.
you can get as crazy as you want. We got a lot of engagement from those emails, man. So that's
Okay.
entertainment. That's what people want. That's how you
Yeah.
compete with Netflix. That's how you compete with Instagram. And remember, these companies, they have millions of dollars to spend. You don't. So you got to get
Correct.
creative. You got to bank on that personal connection. That's what you got to do.
Freaking amazing. And even I'm working with a ecom brand, and I was just maybe struggling, you can say. I was thinking, okay, how can I add my owner's personality in it? And when I told him, okay, let's write about you, okay, your backstory, he told, no bro, no, just send these normal emails. And but I didn't did, but I need to do it, because
Yes.
that's how we build the connection with them, the readers. Because every time when we send the, okay, this is something, okay, you buy, and first of all we would start getting less engagement, and the second thing, we would just burn out our email list.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like for me, I personally operate with the mindset that every one of my readers, if I send one boring email, they're going to stop reading my emails.
True.
And that's how you have to operate because it's true. You disappoint them once, they're not going to open again.
True,
They're going to
man.
stop. That's how you got to think.
Absolutely amazing. And so you are talking about you Mm, like as a when we are working with the client, so you talk about their what is working in, what is happening in their back end, and how they are doing their stories, about how did they start this business, So like more about stories so the readers can connect. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to share this with the audience because this is something that I learned just a few weeks ago and it just blew my own mind.
Okay.
When I say stories, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to write 2 to 3 paragraphs. It
Okay.
doesn't. Story could just be an image. Story could just be one line. And let me show
Hmm.
you how. So, the first ever story that we sent out for the jewelry client was
Okay.
he told me that he literally carries all the boxes, all of the inventory, all of the package that all of the orders. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the right word. The orders. He literally
Yeah.
carries all the orders and delivers them to the post office by himself. And I
Hmm.
told him, just get me a photo. You're holding the orders in your hands. You're by the post office. Just get me that one photo.
Okay.
And he gave me that photo. I put that in the email, and that email made the most amount of money that company had ever made before with their discount emails that had discounts. It didn't even have a discount. And the sales link was buried a mile down in the
Hmm.
PS.
Okay. And I think I remember like you added in the PS and you get 1% click through rates. Is that
Yeah,
it?
this was the
Okay.
email, man. This was the email. And it's
Okay.
not necessarily about the click rate, it's about the quality of those
Yeah.
clicks.
Quality.
So
Absolutely.
I've seen when they used to do discounts, they used to get a lot of click rates, but they didn't make as much money. But with this email, the click rate was only 1%, but they made a lot more money. The average order value was just through the roof.
Wow.
And yeah, it could just be one image or it could just be one line. And this is where I had the most aha moment I've ever had in my entire life. And I learned this from a copywriter called Bill Mueller. Let
Can
me
you
just
just
switch to
repeat
my
Bill
note.
Miller?
Bill Mueller.
Okay. Bill
I
Miller.
learned this
Okay.
from him, and he completely changed my mind around stories because I used to think the stories have to be two to three
Too
paragraphs.
long.
That's what
Yeah.
stories was, right? They're
Yeah.
not. Story can be one line, and I'll show you how. Let me
Okay.
just I've actually had all the notes written down so that I don't miss anything for this call. Let me just find that. Just a minute. Yeah. So
Okay.
now with the new emails that I was writing for the company,
Hmm.
it wasn't all stories. It wasn't 2 to 3 paragraphs of story. It was just one line. Like for the Black
Okay.
Friday sale, I said, uh, "We have gone against our accountant's wishes and started our biggest sale for the Black Friday yet. Our accountant is going to be very, very angry." That's a
Okay.
story. That's a story. It was
True.
just one line, but it's a story. It's a story. And then other times I would say, like I would send the emails regularly from just one brother, but then
Okay.
all of a sudden I would change it up and send the email from the other brother. And I would say that my brother is at my parents' house at our parents' house today, so I'm gonna be sending you this email instead. So I'm sending you this
Yeah.
email instead. And now that's a story too.
Yeah. That builds the connection, man.
Yeah, but
And
like the
yeah.
mindset shift is you can tell stories in just 1 or 2 lines.
True.
That's what I'm really trying to convey here.
Absolutely. Freaking gold, man. Freaking gold. Absolutely. So yeah, our next question is like, how do you create urgency in your emails? So let's suppose you are coming up with an product launch or maybe anything. Maybe it's an Black Friday sale. So how do you create urgency with the readers?
There's multiple ways to do this. You can
Okay.
obviously have an early bird discount. You can obviously do offers on first come first serve. Like the first 10 people will get a 20% discount. The second 10 people will get 15%, and then 10%, and then 5%, all the way down when 40 spots are gone, there's not going to be a
Okay.
discount left anymore. You can do that. Um, there's multiple ways to do this really, but one thing that I want to touch upon is
Hmm.
be consistent when you say something. Don't lie to your readers. Don't say the sale is going to end on the third, and then all of a sudden come around and say, "I got a lot of messages, so I'm just gonna keep the sale
There
going
are
for another 2 days."
there are a lot of people who does this. Okay, like it will end on the third, and then okay, I got a lot of replies, so we have extended for 24 hours, and then you
Dude,
keep selling.
it is so irritating. It's like, dude, every time I read this, I'm like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
never gonna buy from you because you lie. You're lying to me. Nobody emailed you. I know that for a fact. Nobody emailed you. And the thing is, I
yeah,
actually did this with one of my clients. They wanted me to, kind of keep the sale going for more days when I had already promised my audience that it was going to end today. So what I did
mm,
was I sent an email out and I said, a lot of people have been asking me, because there were people actually. I said, a lot of people have been asking me to keep the sale going, but
mm,
I also said before that the sale would end today. And if I
yeah,
do keep it going, I would be disrespecting and it would be a disservice to the people that did actually open my emails and did buy in time. So what I'm going to
mm,
do is I'm going to keep the sale going, but now you're not going to get the discount that I'm giving anymore.
yeah.
I'm going to shrink the discount. You're going to get a lesser discount. It's still going to be good, but you're not going to get the deal that
The
the people who
same.
are actually loyal
Yeah,
to the list, they got. And the funny thing about that is that email made a lot of money and there wasn't even a sales link in there. I literally told them wait for tomorrow's email. But that email in and of itself made so much money, dude. So when you can show the audience that you're true, that you are honest, that
yeah,
you are authentic, people are going to buy from you. And what that does is put you at a spot that is higher status than them. Because when you lie and you push the sales, they automatically see you as low status because you don't stand up on your word. You don't deliver
absolutely.
what you promise. So that's very important. Stay consistent. Don't lie.
Freaking God. Absolutely, we need to engage, and with the engagement, we need to be true. We need to
Yeah.
be true with them and being honest, and that sells more. Yeah.
Hmm.
And now one very important question and very
Yeah.
serious. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm
ready,
coming.
are
I'm
you?
ready. I'm ready. I'm
Are you
ready.
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Sure.
So as you are so handsome, tell us how many girlfriends do you have?
You're putting me on the spot here, man. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this. I'm gonna leave this room.
Just kidding, man. I'm just
I know,
adding
man.
the
I know.
entertainment.
I'm coming too. I'm coming too. I'm coming too, bro. I'm
Yeah,
coming too.
I know. Like that's how we entertain our audience. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. So okay, back to the podcast. Like I have this question. Okay, let's suppose you are working with a client. Okay, and they have around 10,000 email list, and they are only getting 10 to 15% open rate. So what would you do to increase their open rates as well as their income, okay, the revenue they are generating? And like there are a lot of people who are not opening the emails, okay, so how would you clean the email list? So let's suppose it is an dating coach, you can just imagine, so how would you do?
Obviously, it's about pleasing the algorithm. It's about
Okay,
pleasing the algorithm. So the first thing I would do is I would take a list. I would segment out people. I would take the list of the most engaged readers who have opened the email in the last 30 days, and I would send exclusively to them in the first month.
okay,
And as my engagement started rising, because I would be writing good emails, I
okay,
would start increasing the pool of the people that I'm actually sending emails out to. And that's basically how you do it. Of course, there's a lot of intricate details and intricate actions that you have to take, but that's basically
mm,
the big picture stuff. What do you have to do? Segmentation. And it really
okay,
comes down to just writing good emails, man. That's all that it is,
yeah,
really.
okay, perfect, man, perfect. So you would do the segmentation, right?
Yeah.
Like those who are opening, you will only send to those only people, and
Yes.
those who are not opening emails, you would delete those contacts. I think you would clean them.
I wouldn't delete them right away because I do know that
Okay.
the business owner has been sending really shitty emails. So it's not that
Okay.
they're not responsive, it's just that
Mm,
there's no reason to respond, right? So
yeah.
first, I would step up the game with the emails and then kind of see
Okay.
the people who respond and the people who don't
Yeah.
respond, even after kind of targeting them with more emails, I will clean the
Yeah.
list. Because here's the thing, man, when you keep people on the list that not really responding, they're not really buying, they're not really even opening the emails,
Yeah.
you kind of spending money that doesn't need to be spent. You're better
Okay.
off just having them unsubscribe or having them or just deleting them altogether because the
Absolutely.
health of the list is the most important thing.
Yeah. Having a list of the people who want to buy from you. So
Yeah,
that is the
because
must thing.
Yeah, it kind of retracts back to the story I just told you that my email made the same amount of money as their email with just one
Yeah.
fourth of the audience size. So it's not really about the size of the audience, it's about the emails that you write. That's really
Yeah.
important. Focus on that.
True, man, true. And even I was going through some sales, not just sales, but okay, Justin Gop came up with his product launch. Okay, there was a workshop. So he was telling, okay, how to create a list, email list of the people with money. Okay, like people with money, PWM. So he was telling the stories, the people who were questioning them. Okay, so at the end, I think he made around 30 to 40% of his revenue. Okay, like I don't remember the numbers, but at the end he made this, and the way he was writing the emails, like okay, totally personalized, and the questions that they might have in the people's mind. Okay, so what we want to do is okay, clear all the objections they have when we are coming up with any product launch or something. So what do you say about it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to know your market, man. You
Yeah,
have to know the main problem that they face. You have to know the main benefit that they're looking at and looking for. And
yeah,
even more important than that, and this is really, really interesting because this is where a lot of sales emails go wrong. They ask
okay,
questions, right? They ask questions. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight without going to the gym? Like, dude, it's not mentally stimulating. It's not engaging. What you should do is you should tell
okay,
stories. So if you see someone, if your market has a certain problem, which of course you do
okay,
the research, you know what problem they have, and you use that in the sales email to sell the product. How do you use it? You don't build questions around it. Like, do you have
yeah,
this problem too? You tell a story. You tell a story. You tell a story of someone who had that problem, and in that way, you turn that problem, that objection, into a live action story that's engaging,
yeah,
and you can
absolutely.
actually make it a horror story where you can scare them to death. That if they don't take the action, they don't buy your product. This is also going to happen to them eventually. So
Mm-hmm.
my main, what I really want to say is that when you're writing sales emails, don't ask
Yeah,
questions. Tell
okay.
stories. Tell
Tell a story.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely freaking amazing. True, man. What about the AI? Like, it's just blowing the minds, and even I have used, but I'll share my experience. But what about your experience, and how do you consider it for the people as a copywriter? How do you consider it?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really
Okay.
dive that deep into it because right around the time that AI came out, I started working with Jason, and I got knocked into this completely different way of working, and I
Yeah.
haven't really had the time to really look into it. But from what I've heard from everyone else, from the top copywriters in the game, and from my friends, the bottom 80% of the copywriters are fucked, dude. They're fucked. They got nowhere to run. They're fucked.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing, it's the AI is either going to replace you or you're going to use it as a tool to get better, to write better.
True.
But of course,
True.
I'm not going to say more than that because I don't have any more knowledge than that. I still have to study about it. So that's all I'm going to say for now.
Yeah.
But what do you think? I want to
Actually,
know. What do you think?
yeah, I have used it personally, and I would say it's good, like for getting the content. Like, I was searching on the Chat GPT, like give me the ideas and write a good post for me how to build the email list. So it will give me the content, but I cannot just copy and paste it. Okay, and I can post on the LinkedIn, and I would okay, I would got a lot of comments, a lot of engagement. That is not going to happen, and that is not my personality. Okay, when I saw those content, okay, and even when I checked on the Hemingway editor, the grade was 12th and even 13th. Okay, I would okay, what is this? So I can't use it. So what I want to tell, okay, just take an idea. Okay, they will tell how to create email leads. So you create the another doc with your own personality, and you can just have idea from it. Okay, these are the things I can mention in my post. So this is how I am using it, and anyone else can use. Like, adding your personality is must, otherwise information is everywhere. So that's how I would you
Yeah,
use it?
information's everywhere, dude. Information is everywhere. There's literally like I was writing for a trading client, and
Okay.
there are literally 195 million. Was a million? It was close to that range. Pages on Google teaching you how to trade. So, dude, information is fucking everywhere, and that's
True,
why
man.
people have stopped responding to it because it's the rare things that people respond to, and what's rare is your method of teaching them, your personality, your unique stories, your life. That's what's unique, and that's what people respond to.
People connect with people, not like
Yeah,
machines. So that's the thing.
yeah, and
And
especially in this age, right? Because
yeah,
people want connection. About
true.
100 years ago, they'll read anything, dude. They'll read anything you throw at them. But now,
Mm,
dude, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a really hard time if you don't understand the basics of human psychology, if you're not interesting, and if you're not experimenting, and if you're scared
okay.
to kind of like think outside the box, you're not gonna do anything here. You got to be
True, man.
constantly creative and constantly try new things.
True. That is what we need to do. So, tell us about yourself, what you are actually doing. Like, are you only writing emails or are you also managing the email leads? So, what about it? Like, how do you work it? How are you
So
working on
right
it?
now with Jason, I've actually gone all in, which means I've dropped all of the clients that I had
Okay.
before Jason,
Mm,
because with Jason, I'm getting the opportunity to get on a call with him 3 times a week and get directly
okay.
mentored by him. So it's kind of a big deal,
Man.
especially because I'm not even a year into my copywriting journey, and I'm only 23 right now. So I
Yeah.
need to learn as much as I can right now. For me
Yeah.
personally, money is not that important right now.
True.
Mastery is what I'm chasing right
Mm,
now. Because here's something that I just learned. Not just learned, but here's something that I was just thinking about this morning.
mm,
You don't make money by trying to make more money. You make money by getting really good at something. That's
freaking
how it
amazing.
goes. And so you got to
Yeah.
focus on mastery. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be a painter, you could be a software developer, you could be a copywriter. Focus on becoming really good at what you do. And I would say give yourself 10 years and focus on becoming the top 1% in your industry. Because
Okay.
in any industry, it is always the top 1% who make the most amount of money. It doesn't matter what
Absolutely.
industry. Even the industry where there's not a lot of opportunity, the top 1% of the people in that industry, I
Yeah.
guarantee you, they're making a lot of money. But I'm kind of going on a tangent from what you asked me. So what I'm doing right now is I've dropped all the other clients and
Okay.
I've gone all in with working with Jason. I'm just writing copy for him right now and his agency. And it
That
has
is
more to
what.
do with it
Okay.
has more
Yeah.
to do with it doesn't have a lot to do with emails. It has a lot to do with
Okay.
social media, writing for social media. It's still copywriting, it's not content writing, but the same
Mm-hmm.
principles follow. And you were saying?
Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, actually, I was, yeah, as you have told, okay, becoming the best in your industry. And I guess like Stephen Georgie, okay, like he charges, I think, around 50 to $60,000 for even writing one sales page letter. So this became because he became the best in his industry and he's working with the people who have money. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
For anybody out there, I just want to tell you what exactly is waiting for you if you really commit to the craft of copywriting. I was on the call with Jason on a coaching call, and he told me that
Yeah.
he has a friend, I'm not going to take his name, who is doing
Mm-hmm.
$300,000 a day from a supplement offer.
Mm,
And he is a copywriter, but he spent the
okay.
time, he dedicated his life to his craft, and now he can make all that money. So, dude, it's not just with copywriting. You get good at what you do, you get really good at what you do, you're going to make a lot of money. Simple.
Freaking amazing, man.
And talking about Stefan Georgi, Jason also told me that he was writing 8,000 to 10,000 words every single week in his first year. Stefan. And so it
Okay.
obviously didn't come easy for him. It was a lot of writing, because in the starting is always a messy process because it doesn't
True.
come easy to you. It's very, very hard and you want to give up, but then you got to keep pushing through it. You got to keep going at it because there's always these mental barriers and then there's also physical limitations. But the physical limitations, you can overcome them because that's how our body is evolved. It constantly keeps evolving to how what do you put
Okay.
it through. The first, like
Okay.
you're not like the first time you start running, you can't run like a 10K. You got to start slow. You got to build up the strength, the stamina, and that's how it
Yeah.
goes. So do not be discouraged if you can't write the uh, amazing copy right from the start.
Yeah.
Nobody could. I couldn't. Vijay couldn't. Nobody could. You just got to give it time. You got to put in
Yeah.
the reps, and you got to just let it happen.
And even if I talk about myself, I know, okay, I write like little bit funny, but I know, okay, I'm not like as a Sahil, okay, as a Sahil is writing, but I know, okay, I'll make myself the deserving, I'll improve upon myself, and that's how I became. But I know there are a lot of city people who would just write content, and I would say, yeah, what are you writing, man? Like, this is not engaging, this is not connecting, and how would you persuade them? That is just content and that is available everywhere, so you need
Yeah,
to add your
it's
personality.
not even copywriting; it's content writing.
Yeah, man. So that's like, what would you advise to the person who is just starting out as a email copywriter? Like, how do they get clients and how do they practice and everything? Like, if you want to give them a roadmap for 6 months, so what would you
All
advise?
right, so instead of telling you what you should do, I'm going to tell you what I did.
Oh
So the
yeah.
first time I started, I knew exactly what I had to do. I had to practice. Duh.
Yeah.
But how do you practice? You write an email a day. And what I
Okay.
did was I imagined a scenario where I was a copywriter with an email list, and I had a product that taught people how to write copy, and I would just write an email a day selling that product. And you do that, you do that day in and day out. You do that for at least 3 months, right? You can
Okay.
obviously you don't have to wait 3 months before you start approaching clients, but you have to go with that mindset. You have to give at least the next 3 months where you have to write an email a day. And
Okay.
for Vijay and me, it's very easy to write an email a day for 3 months. But when I was starting out, it was really hard because every day I would sit down, I didn't know what to write. I had no idea. And every time I would look at the copy I had written, it was very bad. I was constantly getting discouraged. But then a month into it, I look back at the copy I wrote on the first day, I was
Yeah.
so much better. And that's how it's going to go for you too. So write an email a day. You don't have to show it to anyone. It doesn't
Okay.
have to go to anybody. Just write it. If it's shitty, it's shitty. What are you going to do? You can only improve. And the only way is up. All right.
Okay.
So, but one important thing is don't get stuck in this loop of constantly just writing a daily email in practice and thinking that you're going to get better. Because the fastest way to get good at writing copy is to write it with money on the line. When you're getting authentic feedback from real customers, that's when you get
Yeah.
really good. So try to transition from practicing to that as soon as you can. And the best way to do that
Okay.
is to kind of like provide free services to the clients, free emails, and then they use it, and then you know if it works or not.
Yeah.
And so that's how you get good at it. Uh,
Okay.
but about and obviously, there's one more thing that I used to do. Every time I had a very close friend, and every time I would
Okay.
write an email that I thought was good, better than the average
Mm.
emails that I write when I was starting out, when I
Yeah.
was practicing, I would send that email to him, and I would ask him to grade it on three parameters. The one, the offer, was it unbelievable? My promise, did it sound
Yeah.
unbelievable? If it sounded unbelievable, tell me.
Mm. Okay.
Two, was the copy boring? If it sounded boring, if you didn't want to read it, don't read it. You don't have to read it just because you're my friend. If it sounds boring,
Okay.
leave it and just tell me it's boring. I'm not going to read it. And the
Yeah.
third was kind of like, how do you want to take the action I'm asking you to take at the end of the email? Do you want to hit that CTA button? And if you have a
Yeah.
friend, if you have someone that you can do this with, that's also very,
Yeah.
very good. And then
Mm.
about finding clients. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I don't have the right client acquisition skills here. And that's because I was like really, really lucky because I spent so much time getting good at what I do.
Yeah.
People started reaching out to me. No client I've ever had, I had to reach out to, except for that one client that I got on Upwork, which was also my first client. Um,
Okay.
the second client, the jewelry company, they actually reached out to me because they saw my web copy, my sales
Hmm.
page, and they thought it was really
Okay.
good and they reached out to me. And with Jason, I reached out to him, but it was, of course, I didn't have to reach out to him. He posted an ad on his social media. I just sent him an
Hmm.
email and I sent him the same sales page. And of course, I did the assignment and I passed the assignment because I was really good. So at the end of the day, you have to be good at what you do. Of course, you have to
True.
have the right client acquisition skills too. It's kind of like you could make the best movie in the world. You can make Avatar, but if you don't
Absolutely.
market it correctly, nobody's gonna come to the show. So you're gonna have to have both. But like client acquisition skills don't matter if you're not good at what you do. If you get the client, if you don't get them the results, dude, they're not gonna work with you anymore, and that's gonna
Yeah.
ruin your reputation in the market. So make sure you're good at what you do. And the only way to get good at what you do is to write for clients. It's kind of like a very tricky process, but
Yeah.
once you're like really into it, the answers are going to come and you're going to figure out how to do it for yourself. So just stick with it and believe in yourself. Learning is messy. Stick through it.
Freaking amazing advice, man. And if I talk about myself, the clients I'm working with, and the clients I have worked before, all because of my content, like I was posting and my referrals. So no one was like, okay, I'm reaching out to them. Like right now, I'm doing so. But the thing is, like, you need to build your own brand as well, and you need to make yourself capable enough. Okay, they reach out to you. So that's all you need.
Yeah, I just want to add this to this conversation on creating content that
Okay.
attracts customers. Think
Yeah.
of your YouTube, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook as a
Yeah.
distribution channel, right? So before the internet, all of these manufacturers they had distribution channels, and to get get access to those distribution channels, you had to build connections. You had to have a lot of money. But now in this day and age, you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to know anyone. You just have to be able to create an Instagram page and you have a distribution channel.
Absolutely.
And that's what a lot of
Yeah.
creators are doing. They build these
True.
audiences, which are necessarily their distribution channel, and then they build their own brands, their perfume brands, their clothing brands. So focus on building a
Mhm.
distribution channel because if you have that, basically personal branding is everything, especially in the age of AI. Because what
Yeah.
AI doesn't have is a personality, which means the only leverage you have over AI is to have a personal brand.
True,
Focus
man.
on that too.
Yeah. And even I was going through some Stephen George's email, like he's using AI, okay, a lot. And even now, okay, he's getting a lot of clients because he adds his personality and the way he writes, it's just amazing. And that's why clients pay him. So yeah, adding
Yeah,
personality is
of course
nice.
he has the authority and he has a track record too, so that helps as
Yeah,
well. Which then, of
absolutely,
course,
man.
circles
Mm,
back to having a personal brand, a strong personal brand.
True. And what would you advise to an Indian person? Okay, like there are a lot of Indians who are watching this and listening to this podcast. When they are reaching out to foreign clients, okay, so they might get an objection. Okay, you are an Indian, we don't want to work with you. So how would you handle that? Because I hear this and I also had this problem. So what would you tell about this?
Listen, man, it's just like selling a product. The product can be
Yeah.
the best thing in the world, but if you can't
Hmm.
communicate that it's the best thing in the world, you're not going to
Okay.
sell it. And that's our job as copywriters. We communicate the how good a product is. And when you're
Okay.
selling to clients, you are the product. And what do you
Yeah.
have to know? You could be a great copywriter, but if you can't
Yeah.
communicate that you're a great copywriter, you're not going to get any work. And the way to communicate in today's day and age is by speaking,
Okay.
is to be able to have good communication skills. And when I say communication skills, I don't mean having a fancy accent. I don't mean having a very intimidating vocabulary. I just mean that
Okay.
you know what you're talking about and you say it with certainty. Like when you talk, you're not like, and I'm gonna help you, and we're gonna do that. No, I mean we're gonna help you. We're gonna do this, and then you're gonna get this outcome. You have to be certain. And
Yeah.
this
Beautiful.
comes from learning about how to speak properly. This
Okay.
comes from practicing your speaking. Because here's the thing,
Yeah.
man. Here's the thing. We live in a very superficial world, but you can
Yeah.
either cry about it or you can get better and use that to your advantage. I prefer to do the second. That's why I have put countless hours in over the last few years trying to get as good as I am at speaking. I'm still not as good as I like to be, but I'm
You
better
are
than
very
where I
good,
was
man.
at 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it didn't come naturally, all right? I had to practice. And one thing you can do is it's something that I and one of my best friends do. We've been doing it for like
Yeah.
6 months now. It's
Hmm.
called the
Yeah.
1 minute video challenge. Every single day, you record a video of yourself. It's a selfie video, all right? And
Okay.
you don't have to think it through. You don't have to kind of like have a script. You just talk about your favorite movie. You just talk about the
Okay.
meal you had last night. You talk about even the most mundane, most boring things in the world, but you just make them interesting by how you talk about it.
Yeah.
1 minute video, you shoot it every day talking about anything in the world, and you send it to your friend, and he sends one to you. You do it enough times, you put enough reps in, you're gonna start getting better. So communication skills are very, very important. In fact, boy, I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm doing this. But over the last 2 years, I have
Okay.
dissected talks from some of the greatest people. I have learned from some of the best speakers in the game, and I have
Okay.
built a scientific approach to how to speak in a way that influences others. And if Vijay would allow me to do it, I could drop a PDF that you
Okay.
can get access to, and you can just follow everything in there to get good at speaking fast.
It's my
Of course, you
pleasure
don't have to enter
to
your
hear that.
email or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a rough version. I'm just going to give it to Vijay. He's going to drop it in the comments, in the
Okay.
description. Is that, yeah,
Sure. I'll
description.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll do that
And
then. You
that's a
better
bonus
freaking
from.
use it because that was a lot of freaking work that I had to put in to create that PDF. All right, so you better
Okay.
freaking use it.
Okay, amazing. And that's a bonus from Sahil. So thank him after reading that. And Sahil, brother, it was really amazing, yeah, talking to you. The way you talk, your personality, it is just amazing. And right now you are working with a legend. Like it's even my dream, like talking even with the Jason, and you are going on the call with him for 3 times a day. It is just freaking
3 times a week.
man, 3 times in a week. Yeah, sorry. So thanks a lot. And by the way, where can someone find you if they want to reach out to you, if they want to connect with you?
The good old Instagram. The email dude. Clean. That's the username.
Okay.
TheEmaildude. The email dude. Type it in.
Okay.
There's a little bit of stuff about my testimonials and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really post a lot about email because I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really put that much content out about email because, uh, like I said, I've just been getting good at what I do, and
Okay.
that's getting me a lot of clients, a lot of work, and I'm probably gonna build a personal brand, but it's just not
Personal
now.
brand.
It's not. This is just
Yeah.
not what I'm focused on now. But you will find a lot of videos of me talking about the most random shit on the planet, and you might enjoy
Okay.
that. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's how they can you will build the KLT with them.
Oh yes.
KLT. So yeah, it was my pleasure to talk with you and hope we will hope on another podcast very soon and we will discuss further. And thank you so much
Fuck yes,
for
man. Listen, I enjoy this talk a lot. You have
okay.
great energy. You have this great vibe about you, and I love it. And I would love to hop on another call with you. Maybe let's do this 3 or 4 months down the line when I am a better
Sure.
copywriter than I am now and have more to contribute to everyone. Let's do it then. But I'm
Yeah,
totally open to
sure.
that.
Okay. Let's have a pick, man.
Oh, great. What do I do? Oh man, I'm so awkward with the picks. Let's do this.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm ending this recording. By the way, you can stay here. We can talk a little bit about it. I'm just ending. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.
All
Okay.
right, guys.